We'll wait maybe till after to answer more questions. That's where I answer all the questions you have, okay? So I know you have a few. Bring it in for the real Alright. So, my name is Nick Dinsmore. I started wrestling in '96, wrestled for WWE from '99 to '07, again in '09. I was a coach for NXT from August of 2013 until last November or something like that. So, I assume that everybody that gets into wrestling wants to make it to WWE, and that is like the ultimate goal. Okay. So if that is everyone's goal, I can lend you my expertise on what I think they're looking for and what might help you in the tryout. There's also people who just wrestle every fucking weekend. Both are fucking awesome, cool. Both are different experiences. So I will talk about like territorial wrestling as opposed to, if you're looking to get to WWE, there might be two separate conversations going on. So one question I usually ask at the beginning of a seminar is, what is the greatest match of all time?
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Steamboat Savage.
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Benoit Regal from Coleman Show.
Steamboat Flair.
And lady?
Steamboat Savage.
Steamboat Flair.
Steamboat Savage.
Stone Cold Bret Hart. Benoit Jericho against Triple H.
Steamboat Savage.
Alright, so Cena against The Rock 1 made more money than any other match in history. And we're here to fucking make money. You know what I mean? The art of wrestling, you might have your favorite match of all time. I like Dynamite and Tiger Mask. That's my favorite match of all time. These guys were just flawless and just awesome. But the business of pro wrestling is we want to make money. So when we have matches, you have to kind of think, who am I having this match for? Am I having a match that I want to videotape and then put on my, okay, let me rewind here. If you want to make it to WWE, you have to get on the recruit.wwe.com webpage. Does anybody not know what I'm talking about? Okay, so on that profile, get on there, update that thing about every 2 months, or if you have a new look, or if you have a new picture, or if you have a new match. Okay, because don't think that they'll just constantly look at, like if you just do one. I mean, tweak your look against the oil. Every 2 months, refresh that fucking thing with a different look, a different match, okay? So, what I was talking about before, let's say we're going to have a match for the videotape that we want to put on there. What they want to see on that profile is a face shot, a body shot, a 6-minute match, a solid 6-minute match. They're not going to watch 30 minutes, and they're not going to watch a highlight reel because anybody can put a highlight reel together. They want to see you move in the ring, sell, lock up. They don't want to see the best fucking move you can do. So a good solid 6-minute match. So, are we having a match that we're going to fucking videotape? Or are we having a match to entertain the crowd? Okay? It was at NXT and Sami Zayn against Adrian Neville had a fucking 5-star classic match at some little small spot show that we did in Florida. But the crowd didn't give a fuck. The crowd was so fucking bored with this match that they started chanting at Byron Saxton, who was running the goddamn music. They started chanting at the referee. They started chanting at the dude in the front row. And I came back and I was like, you guys thoroughly did not entertain the crowd. So, I mean, although the match on tape is a 5-star classic, the performance is a failure. And they knew it, but they were just going to go back and watch it and break it down and critique it as if it's a match that they want to put on a pay-per-view or Raw or a Big Show, something like that. Does this make sense? So, we have a performance, we have a competition. We're not trying to fight against each other, but in one match, you know, Eugene is a performer. He's going to have a performance match. Benoit against Kurt Angle is a competition. They're not really hurting one another, but the art is different. Alright, so I assume everybody wants to make it to a WWE tryout. Is this true?
Yes,
Does anybody not want to make it to a tryout? Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you just a little fucking peek on what you're going to expect if you go to a tryout. I'm not going to kill you, but we're going to get sweating and get moving in here a little bit. So what I want to do right now is just don't ever touch anybody else's bags, but move your bag as close to the ring, as close to the wall. Let's try to get as much green area as we can. No, if not, really, we just breathe that into the little gimmick way there.
take just so we have more room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do exercises. It was like, I'm going to do exercises.
Just get a quick stretch because it's cold in here. So, unlike an average day at NXT, the guys would show up in the morning. They would have 3 hours in the ring. To the right. To the right. Spread out. They'd be in ring training, going pretty hard, bumping, moves, blah blah blah, whatever. Have a little break. They come back and they lift weights. We all used to lift weights to the left, like we're bodybuilders, right? But all the bodybuilders got in the business got hurt because their bodies are not built for wrestling. So the type of training they do now is training so that their bodies will be durable and be able to take ring abuse over a long period of time. Relax. Lay left leg forward. So they would do like some weightlifting, but then they'll flip the fucking tires and climb up the fucking ropes and the bars like that. Only the goddamn trainer down there, which can do it, but hold yourself out on the rings, you know? Do all kinds of different shit that I never saw like when I first started weightlifting. Switch. The one place that I think I see the NXT stars excel above everybody else is at night they go to performance promo class, performance skills. I can't remember what they call them. Sorry, the presentation skills class with Dusty Rhodes, and these guys are just so good. It's almost like a Saturday Night Live improv class. Relax. Need any other particular stretch? Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. One's in, twos get back out the way, ones you got the green. What I want to see is just regular squats, okay? I just want you to do 25. Take the, if you're a 1, take the middle. Twos, back up, don't do anything. Twos got a break. Let's put it on there too. We'll end up needing room. 25. One's out, two's in. 25 squats. One's take a break, twos, you got it. Begin. Doing these squats, this is more like weightlifting squats. Put my heels flat. Breathe in as I go down. As I come up. I just put my hands flat on here just because I don't really feel, so I don't want to do it with my hands. You know what I mean? You do it here, however you want, but it just feels more comfortable to me. Butt down, eyes up, chest up, feet flat. Got it? Two's out, one's in. Alright, so Hindu squats are a bit different. Turn on the balls of our toes, hands come down. Exhaling as we go down. 25 of those. Spread out. If we need room back there, we can take it. Scratch the space. Hands come down. Almost like you want to put your fingernails on the ground. Balls of your feet there. Karate Kid. Forward a little bit. 25. Big breath out as you go down. It's like an accordion. Smashing down, pushing out all the air. Got it? That group 1, group 1 out. Group 2 in, 25 Hindu squats. sure everything is breathing, guys. DDP showed up at the Performance Center one day. He said the difference between excitement and panic is whether you hold your breath or not. Group 2 out, group 1 in. Let's do regular push-ups. Grab some space over there if you need it. Let's do, if you need to be on your knees, that's fine, but don't have your butt upright. So if I'm on my knees, I'm not like this. My hips are down, and I'm here. Let's do 15. Sorry. Press in place. Do your own count. Exhale, need you push all the way down. Group 1 out, group 2 in, 15 push-ups. Two out, group 1 in. Hindu push-ups. So I'm up like this. Dive my nose down, hips through. Rolling your shoulders, lift up at the end.
What's our pattern?
So we get 15. So we do it. These are difficult. Hips up high, hips up real high. Feet spread a little bit. Feet spread a little bit. Dive your nose down to the ground, and then there you go, hips through. Exhale as you go down. Hips all the way through, looking up the ceiling at the end. There you go. Keep breathing, come on. Group 1 out, 2 in, 15 Hindu push-ups. High, keep your high, go down.
I'm backing it up.
2 out, group 1 in. Might need to do some room, squat thrusts or burpees. Please down here. Up. See if we get 20 of these. I think maybe turn this way.
Yeah, that's probably.
Don't face each other, get you, boom, maybe there. 20. Don't hit heads.
No jump, sir.
Sure, man. Do them however you do them. I just want you moving. Come on, keep breathing. Breathing deep breaths into your nose. Right? 1 out, group 2 in. 20 of them. What's up, ESS?
Down there. There's a boy float.
Alright, now, frog jump, standing jump, vertical jump, whatever you want to call it. Come all the way down, jump as high as you can, straight up in the air. When we land, we don't land with our legs locked straight, okay? Land on the balls of our feet. I always try to think of it as I'm catching myself with my feet. Up here all the way, and we always want to land coming straight down. We don't want to land spinning or going to one side or, you know what I mean? Jump as high as you can, explode with your legs up, and then catch yourself on the way down. Reset. Not a speed drill, but let's see if we can get 15 of those. Jump hard, explode all the way, high as you can, reach. All the way down. Knock your body all the way down, explode as high as you can. 15, breathe out when you explode up in the air. One out, two in. Chop, chop, come on. Yeah, good. All right, come in. So that was 10 minutes. All right. If you're looking to go to a tryout, you need to be able to sustain this level of energy output of exercise for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Hard. You get little breaks in between, catch the water, but you gotta be able to keep going. I just wanted you guys to get a flavor of it. What happens is a lot of guys have no idea. And they come in unprepared, and they start this, and between 7 and 12 minutes they just start falling. Injured, throwing up, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's up to you guys to train yourselves to look the part physically. I mean, look at all the guys on NXT, all the guys on WB. If you stood right next to them, does your appearance match their appearance? Okay? And then cardiovascularly, be prepared to go. If I get a shot of water real quick. I mean, I want people to, honestly, I want people to be prepared because I see so many people come in there that might have a little bit of talent, but they're just cardiovascularly unprepared, and then they're shot the whole time because horse playing catch up. Stick my time. Calisthenics and CrossFits and whatever the hell the shit is. Then you guys would move to the ring. So, one thing I mentioned before, we always wipe our feet, okay? If you get in a ring of yours, of someone else's, of NXT's, of WWE's, and you don't wipe your feet, it's very disrespectful because I don't want all this muckety muck that we trip our feet through on the mat when I put your face in it, not mine. Okay, so what do we got here? 18, all right? Calisthenics and whatnot, I had to try out, then you might do a little bit of in-ring work. A lot of it would be rolls and bumps. Rolls and bumps. Sometimes I'll have tryouts for independent talent. Sometimes I'll have tryouts for people with zero experience. Sometimes they'll be all together. So they have to keep it, keep the material appropriate to who's doing it. So who can do a handstand bump? Wipe your feet, get into one. Everybody get around the apron for 1, 2. To our right. Always get to the right. I'm expecting everybody to get to the right. Handstand all the way. Get to the right. Done it? Let me see it. If you've not done it, wait till the end and walk through it. My feet down, bring my hands to it. Oh! Hold it like a cheap suit. Hey! Closer. Keep working on it. Good job. No more. Bring those feet down. Bend your feet. Bend your knees, Not bad. How old are you? How old are you? 18? Yeah. I can't have like a 17-year-old seminar and then the kid get hurt and I'll be in trouble.
I'm 18.
Are you sure? You're lying to me.
I'm 18. I will hold the responsible if I get hurt.
If you're going to get hurt, I just want to make sure your baby's going to get hurt. Good job. Is that right? Horrible. Get in the way. Better, much better. Not bad. Everybody good? Go. You're not done. Jump in. Try to keep that handstand all the way. Stand all the way. Point your feet. Stretch. Elongate. Direct the whole spine. Your knees are so bent. Good job. Guys, pay attention, please. So, I see some of you like jumping into it. It's almost easier if you put your hands straight down and walk your feet up. Snap your hands down. Oh, you almost Lenny Puff with yourself. Anybody? Anybody? Get that one? Get that one? Yeah, I think I'll kill yourself. Nobody got to do that. It's just courtesy laugh, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I remember taking blows.
Hey! How classy with the young lady here. Thank you, sir. All right. Oh my gosh. Put handstand all the way. All the way up. Closer. Your knees are still bent. All the way. Boom. Boom. Closer. Not bad. Good. Everybody did it? Everybody not do it? All right, 4 guys in, back in the corner. Another popular drill is the Brookside shuffle. So, hands on our head, on our toes, shuffle along the outside here. We want to try to keep our back as close to the ropes as we can. You want to stay across from the person that you're across from and equidistant from the person that you are next to. Alright? When I say change, you're going to change direction. When I say corner, we'll stop and you will find a corner and have your back in the corner. We'll start by going to your right. Go! Back to the ropes. Keep going. Come on. Across from the person. Get up. Now we've got to work together. It's too close. Back to the corner. Change. Up straight. Up top. On our toes. Back to a corner. Change. Stand up straight. Keep breathing. Change. We'll have to work together on this. Stay close to the ropes. Stay up. Keep breathing. Not too close. Across. Working as a team. Change. Corner. Relax for a second. When I say set, we go down to the ground. When I say go, we stand up. Lead with your right hand. So set, boom, I come down to here. Boom. Go, set, get up, and boom, break down position. If I say down, I want you to hit your stomach and pop right back up to your feet. So set, we go down, go, we come up, down, all the way down and up. This makes sense? Set. Go. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Time you guys with a sundial. This will get a quick drill. Set. Go. Go on. Set. Go. Set. Go. Down. Right back up to the feet. Down. Down. Set. Down. Good job, spell. 4 more, back in the corner. Wow, really? Just bang, diamond cutter out of nowhere. All right, shuffle to the right, begin, go. On our toes, keep our breathing. Back close to the ropes, not too close, distant. Across from the person across from, change. Gap here, everybody, we have gap. Change! Grab a corner. Set! Heads in the middle. Feet should be towards the corner. Hands in the middle. There we go. Alright, go! Come on. This will get a quick drill. Set! Go! When it's time to feed Cena's comeback, when it's time to feed Daniel Bryan's comeback, your ass has to be up and down. Boom, boom, boom. Up and down like a fiddler's elbow. Set! Go! Set! Go! Down! Right back up. Down! Back up. Down! Set! Go! Down! Set! Good job. Good job. Left. Is everybody's not gone? Jump in as well. So we got 5 people. We just gotta keep our boundaries here. You know what I'm talking about, keeping boundaries. All right, go. Don't hang on the ropes. Don't hang on the ropes. So there's your performance center. There's cameras up all over the place. The boss can look in at any time to see where you're doing. If I can't hear what's going on in the ring and all I see is a camera view of somebody going like this, you look blown up, you look out of shape, you look like you don't care what's going on in the ring, you're not going to protect it. Okay. Back in the ropes. Hands on our head, keep our breathing. Equidistant change. Head set. Head should be towards the middle. We should a little bit. All right, go. Set. Go. Set. Go. Set. So, especially in a drill like this, we gotta be mindful. Normally we wouldn't have this many, but little man. You keep having your extremities out. Big guy's gonna fall in you and break your arm. Keep your shit tight. Go! Down! Down! Set! Go! Stand on one leg. Alright, very good. Shower water! Shower water. So, drills like that or similar then would be done for another 90 minutes or so, but sometimes you get a little bit more of a break because 4 people will be in and they'll get a long line. So again, not exactly that, but the exercise intensity will be similar if you go for a tryout. For this much longer. One of the main keys that is preached is selling and intensity. Trying to treat the product as if it were a real competition. I know sometimes that's kind of contradictory to everything that we do in wrestling or WWE does on TV, but that's kind of like the building block and the foundation. If we start here, we can always build on this, but difficult to do without the core that the whole point of wrestling is to pin someone or make them submit. I was in a match last night. Come here, young man. He was getting hit on my partner. Go down your back. He did some big move. 1, 2, kick out. Oh, son of a gun. Picks him up. But the point of wrestling is to pin someone or make them submit. By picking him up, I'm giving him an advantage. Maybe not an advantage over him, but I'm giving him. If we're playing a video game and we got the power meter, and I beat him all the way down to here and I put him on his feet, I'm giving him energy. Does that make sense? I don't know what the exact proper term is, but it looks silly for me to pick this guy up. And I was listening to the crowd, at the cover, the crowd was starting to come, get with it, he picked him up, they completely died. Because if we're in a contest, stand right here, stand up straight. Who's winning? Why? Yeah. What do we need? Who's winning? You know what I mean? Simple perception like that I think sometimes guys forget, or I think what happens a lot of times is you can't learn the craft by watching Raw. Because Raw is so tight on time. You have to watch pay-per-view where the guys have a little bit more time, or if you get the network, the live events from you know, whenever, years gone past, where the guys just have time to work the crowd. Okay? What happens on Raw is you guys got a 5-minute match. Go work it out. Come back. Okay, go to the ring. You got 4 minutes. You get in the ring. You got 3 minutes in the ring, live on air. And the guys that are really good can just say, okay, let's cut out this, and this, and let's go straight to this without saying it in so many words. What a lot of guys do is just the 5-minute match they had planned, they just do it faster and they don't sell. So what turns into, I'll give you a big move, I'll cover you, I'll fucking clean the ref, look right there, as you're slowly starting to stagger your way to your feet, it turns into, I'll just pick you up, because we have no time. Can't learn the craft by watching Raw, because they're restricted on time. Just be mindful of that. Okay, so if the point of wrestling is to pin someone or make them submit, we don't pick them up off the ground. Intensity and selling. I want to see somebody sell. Yeah. Beat somebody up, big man. Of a match is basically just give me a reason to cheer for this baby face. Give me some reason that I want to believe in him and some reason I want to see the bad guy get beat up. That's all the shine is. If you listen to the crowd and the guy goes, okay, I'll lock up, I'll slam you, I'll drop kick you, I'll arm drag you, and then I'll go, yeah! And the crowd goes, that's because the heel didn't deserve anything. The story is, the bad guy does something to escalate the violence and gain the advantage. The babyface matches with equal violence. An eye for an eye, but no more than an eye. Okay? So in essence, for me, the story is get a little heat, make a little comeback. Get a little heat, make a little comeback. Get a little heat, make a little comeback. Intensity in getting heat happens in that first 7 to 12 seconds where you gotta fucking tear into it. Okay? The heat you were doing was good, but it wasn't what I call, what Rip Rogers called kick it in heat. It's time to kick it in. And you could have done just as many strikes, but it's your mannerism, right? So if I come here, okay, look up and you know what I mean? I did 4 strikes. But my mannerisms have to be, I'm flip my lid, I fucking lost my shit. But you do it for, like I said, 7 to 12 to 15 seconds. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. Try to win, cover, kick out. What do I have to do to beat this guy? I'm going to put him in a hold and wear him down. Does that make sense? And I'm going up. So, intensity is not how many times can I hit this guy in my 15 seconds. It's not how big of a move can I do. I barely touched it. But it was just that, the thing is, you have to take the strike that's open and wait for it, or open him up. But it's just that, I don't know how to explain it. I just try to demonstrate. See, do it again. I feel like my hands have to be up. Okay, so if we go for a tryout, and in the art of the business either way, if we're in a contest, our hands are going to be up. Very rarely we're going to have them on our side. For the TV, if we knock somebody out with a chair and I'm standing there over him, dramatically yes, but if we're treating this like it's a real contest, my guard's up all the time. It's just that waiting for the yoke, you know, in the face and just switch. See ya! Oh! attack this guy. You're doing boring heat, which everybody needs to be able to do, you know, and all the strikes were good. Just that buzzsaw, you know what I mean? That opens people's eyes like, holy shit. You see Daniel Bryan tear into somebody, it's intense, you know what I mean? Not for a long period of time, you know what I mean? CM Punk similar, you know, just that you gotta have a short burst of intensity. That's what I'm trying to bring out of you. Try again.
Come on, big man! Come on! Sit!
Don't turn your back. Okay. You do the thing. Boom, boom, boom. We gotta feel like we want to go, hey, come on, cheer for me. But that's like borders on pandering. You know what I mean? If it's fucking pissed off, boom, boom, boom. Okay. It's all there. Attack. And there has to be a point where you pin him or he bumps and rolls out. Yeah. It's good, man. Good. You alright? Yeah. No. Hey, on his head. Thank you. Dos más, por favor. Start. Kick was the best thing you fucking did. It was awesome. So I'm not a fan of like mud holing kicks, but sometimes that's the easiest way to show intensity. But you gotta have a good looking kick if you do it. I thought that was good. Because what happens is, let's say I throw a kick and it's not that good, and then I switch to something else. The people viewing will almost forget about what happened. But if I have a shitty kick and I throw it, and then I throw it again, oh, he's not even making, oh, he's stomping, oh, he's slamming his, oh, that's horrible. You show him a replay of something that's bad. But it was good. So, kick shit out of boots. Don't say that kick, kick shit out of it. Come on, right down. Good. 10. Very good. So, I like that. When you came to fire back, you came right back to here. Used to be, you see all the guys, boom, 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 yay! Fight this fucker, you know what I mean? Same thing, you can boom, 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 and if the referee puts you back, or even if you just fire, get your head, you know what I mean? But it's all, this guy's always in my 10 and 2. And if I can put my hand on him, if I'm on offense and he's selling, he's in jeopardy. But if I get this far away, people know nothing can happen. In my 10 and 2 and in striking distance. Good intensity, very good, man. Push it up. Yeah! Son of a gun, you. Yeah! Wow! Awesome, good. Okay, you guys work together, right? And that's the beauty. Like when you trust somebody, you can sell, and he knows where he's going to be. That's the good stuff. I wrestled Umaga, and the first time I wrestled him, I was scared to death. He took with the kicks and everything. That ass looked so fucking vicious, and I got in there, and it was like, oh, and then I fell in love with him. I was like, give me everything. Very good. Good job, guys. Good. You guys got me blown up. Dos más, por favor. So, you do the first punch and you hold your hand. You do the headbutt and you hold your head. Funny things to do, but if I'm if I want to be 100% whipping his ass, I'm not selling anything. You know what I mean? Not that those things are wrong, there's a time and a place for them, but if it's that time when I'm a heel and I try to out-wrestle him and he out-wrestles me, I show frustration. Doggone it, whatever that frustration is, we do it again. Heel starts on top, I try to out-wrestle him, he out-wrestles me, I show frustration. Mounting frustration. A third time, heel starts on top, babyface counters, frustration, I cheat. Now he's down, and I can show that picture with my face that he's been working my arm this whole time. That hurts. Oh, you son of a gun. Now you're going to get it. Boom, 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 boom. But if it's time for you to kick it in, same thing if I'm a babyface and I'm making a comeback. When it's time for me to be all the way up, I'm not selling anything. There's a point in the comeback where if you do the false finish, whatever, and you come back in, you can go back to sell whatever you're selling. But when it's time to be here, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's good, very good, good heat though. Just two little nitpicky things that, you know, and that might be a me thing, it might not be a across the board thing. Alright, switch it up. Street corner mugging. Just got to be under control, man. You know? The thing is, in this instance, if we've talked it out or if this guy has half a fucking clue, I know that he's going to be selling. So I don't have to constantly be touching him. Your mannerisms can be, I'm ready to grab him, but when I grab him, it's still here. You don't have to rush to grab or rush to move him, but my body language can try to give the sense of urgency. Does that make sense? Am I wrestling this guy? Oh, good man, good job. Thanks, good. Who's next? Tarzan top. Yeah. Get So, we know WWE doesn't choke like this. Everybody knows that. Not that it's something that we never do in pro wrestling, but if that's where I want to get a job, I would try to pattern my work around at least, you know, those little things you can change, because I don't know that you're going to get a whole lot more heat if you do this or if you just do this for the wrestling fans, you know what I mean? But it's something that they don't want. So one form was shit. You rush that when you feel it?
Yeah, the first one?
Yeah. Well, no, the first one was good, but then he was here and you go to throw it and he moves and it was like, I'm going to do this one. Good though. You know? It's just being confident with your strikes, being confident with the guy that you're wrestling. You know, again, it's not how many strikes can I do in 15 seconds. It's the intensity I put between them. Because then there's a time in the heat when I beat him up and I've got him down and now I'm going to admire my work, take a knee. You know what I mean? Then maybe I'm here and all this son of a gun's really going to get this shit. You know what I mean? But the intensity that they're pressing really picks up a little bit. Switch! Relax. Can't do this. Okay, we have to limit the times where I'm just standing here. I know somebody's going to chop me. It might take a second to get set up. If it drives you back in the corner, I don't know what he had, but if his hand's here, grab where it hurts. So I'm going to be here. maybe here, even if it's here, or try not to be here, but whatever, and then you can throw the kick. I gotta put my hand where it hurts, keep my face up, give me the best face you can make that makes it look legitimately like pain. And I just try to think, stub my toe, fuck, it hurts. Finger in the car door. Most of the time, naturally we will draw in. So if I hurt my arm, if I hurt my shoulder, ain't nobody gonna do this if you really hurt your shoulder. You know what I mean? You're here. It hurt, you know what I mean? You draw in, face, hands where it hurts. This is a big, can't do this one. You didn't, it wasn't like back in the 80s, like, we were some hacksaw. God, I love hacksaw. It's just right here all the time. Yeah. But I mean, it works, you know? When certain guys get to a certain level, the fans will forgive. You know what I mean? Austin's punches are like this. Owen's punches are right here. The rock slaps. Fans don't care. But when we're talking about the art of the business, what is the trying to get in, get out, don't get hurt, and not let anybody in the crowd, on camera, wherever, see through what we're doing. We do it by overselling. Hands where it hurts, face up. You guys both go? Okay, so the first kick was a shits too. Could you have grabbed his foot?
Yeah, probably.
Then you look stupid. You know what I mean? You guys remember you just kind of hi-ya? Just because it's his time to get heat, don't mean you have to just give it to him. I don't mean fight against him, but it's horrible, you know what I mean? For me, if somebody's going to give me a strike, I think I look horrible if I'm standing right here and he hits me. Because if I can see him, why wouldn't I block it? Why wouldn't I duck it? Whatever. So, let's say he tie up and he gives me a knee here, right? Boom, gives me a knee. Bam! I'm always going to sell lower than him, and I'm going to just almost quarter turn away from him a little bit. Because now, if he wants to punch me, different than I'm looking right at it and seeing him come to punch me. Same thing in the corner. You got to get me up in the corner. I'm always going to take something and just almost sell down. He comes here, and I'm selling here, trying to pull myself back up. Because if I stay right here and watch a guy beat me up, I don't look like a very good fighter. Does that make sense? Is everybody gone in here? Who's not gone? Beat him up. I want to see intensity. I want to see you whip from behind. You got it. All right, relax. Relax. Good. So, quick snap motions give the illusion of intensity. What's your knee? If I'm going to grab him, I can come up, or that same motion. That looks like I'm ready to tear him up. You know, if you're stuck. You know what I mean? But a little, you could have done a bit more. I'm big on vocals. You see the guys block the, cut the karate guys, cut the ice or bricks or whatever it is on TV. It's never just, you know, it's a big whole vocal presentation. Switch it up.
What do you got, Toots?
That's wrong. Asshole.
What do you got? Come on! Yeah! Come on!
Both hands where it hurts. Don't choke.
Don't choke.
don't take it easy on the girls because nobody else will. I mean, the first sport was like you're trying to take care of her. Pick them up. He usually runs them out. I'm just teasing. Let's get a shot of water. You guys go? Anybody go? Sorry, man. I apologize. Let's do one more. We get your water break. Last weekend. I apologize. I'm getting thirsty. Come on. Ain't here.
Take it. Yeah, sure, why not?
Come on, huh? Come on, Nick, what do you got?
Alright, relax.
Yeah.
Meat chopping. Going back. But again, the quick snap motions will give that illusion of intensity. You don't have to do that many moves, but if I grab him here, if I have your hair, you grab my hand. Alright. Just that quick snap motion. From cocked to contact. That's what we want. Or if it's a kick, I might be slow here, but when it's time to go from here to here, energy output. Yell, scream. Pledge allegiance, I don't know. Switch it up. It's okay, relax. Everybody? How much in-ring training you had?
About 4 or 5 months.
Alright, what do? You got a match?
What do I do? I don't have a match right now, or tonight or whatever. I don't have one. No.
We need to talk about this. We need to book this territory. Get this kid. I need to see this kid in the ring. Let me see you do some bumps. Yeah. Yes, again. You look young to me. I don't want to beat you up. You look frail. Can you gain some weight?
You can take a beat.
You can take a beat. All right.
He's got it
Beat him
already.
up.
He's challenged.
Beat him up. He's been running his mouth. Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute now. It's a gorilla stance. Come on now. Come on. Snatch him. Snatch him. There you go. There you go. Snatch him. Hands on the ropes. Hands off the ropes. All right, relax. Relax. Okay, young man?
I'm fine.
Alright. So, if they put me in the corner, they put the shoulder here, I'm going to slap their back right here, and then try to get the illusion that I'm pushing them off of me. They come back in, but not here. Okay, well, don't get hot about it. Jesus. Can you do offense?
Can I do offense?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Do you trust him against meat on you? Alright, let me see it. So, I pride myself on not touching anybody at all, but making it look like it. But the guys up there are going to kick you hard, you know what I mean? Most of the time, a littler person, if you kick somebody bigger a little bit, you're not going to hurt them. Like, the guys that are 350 pounds, big, you can hit the big guys, it don't hurt them. You just gotta hit him in a safe place. Okay? If I hit somebody in the chest, shoulder, stomach, generally those places are fairly safe. If I throw a punch, I'm throwing for the neck. I don't shoot for the top of the head, for the cheek. So I'm expecting this guy to open up a little bit. So when I throw a punch, it's right there. Because I'd rather get stiffed here than on the chin. Is everybody gone now? Start water, please.
No room.
I haven't noticed they don't show it all here anymore.
No.
Nothing, right? Not even like rear naked chokes either, right?
You did.
I don't think so. Like maybe sometimes on the ropes, but for the most part, you know, if I was the producer or agent of two guys going on TV, I would just have them do it. So like, what they preach is learn how to call your matches in the ring. In my opinion, used to be the standard of the worker was if you could do an hour Broadway with somebody that you've never met before and just get in the ring and call it all. 1 hour Broadway. I think that is mastering the art, okay? Which I think is what everybody needs to try to achieve for. But realistically, on WWE TV, they're going to want you, you know, the producer might be somebody that you watched your entire life as a kid and looked up to him, and he's going to go learn how to call in the ring, and then he's going to go, okay, I need to know every move you're going to do step by step because I need to tell the guy with the camera where to shoot. So we need to be able to do both. We need to be able to memorize, be at a certain place at a certain time. The most important aspect about TV is the timing. You need to be able to finish, boom, right there and hit your time. Not go 2 minutes over, not go 3 minutes over. It's difficult to do sometimes in a live event because we're not really timed, but that's one of the exercises that they will do at the live event. The referee will be earpieced, you get 2 minutes left. So you need to be able to know in the back of your head. If it was TV, from the end of the segment to ding, 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 the pinfall, let's say that's 30 seconds. So that's the end of our match. That 30 seconds of me getting my hand raised, then showing him down, back to me, replay of the finish, I'm walking up backwards up the ramp, you know what I mean? There's 30 seconds of our segment time. From whatever, the finish to start of the comeback, whatever you need for that. Come back to heat to the ding, 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 the start of the match, ding, ding, ding to out the curtain. So those are almost like, if we're doing TV, where you have to be thought-wise as far as time, because a lot of guys would 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 and that's what they allotted for their segment time. But you got to remember, we're going back up the stage, catching a I'd rather get a replay of me beating a guy twice than just standard time of me beating him once. Does that make sense? Just a different way to think about your matches and what to expect. Eventually, in the storytelling, facial storytelling, the moves almost do not matter. I was always told that we can teach a monkey how to do the moves. It's all the stuff that we do in between. So intensity doesn't always mean in that first 15 seconds of getting heat, but it's just the intensity of doing any move. Like I was showing, like when you grab somebody, you know, you come up and you can grab them here and come out, or you can boom, snatch them. I'm not any stiffer, I'm not grabbing them anymore, I'm not doing anything different, but my body language shows intensity and a desperation to win. Okay, so selling. Face has to be up. We have to portray a look on our face that garners sympathy. Shawn Michaels, Ricky Morton were almost some of the best. Give me a facial that just says, you know, please, please, if you cheer for me, I can make a comeback. And at the same time, jump on there. If I'm selling, I'm always going to be perceptibly lower than the guy getting heat on me. If If I'm going to tease a comeback or fire up a little bit, okay, I'm still never going to get five, boom, boom, boom. I'm still never going to get, but maybe to here. Desperation, shoot off. Perceptively, he's still stronger. Because if I get to here, I make my comeback. We got to start all over. He loses his heat, I lose sympathy. But just by simply keeping myself low and always trying to fight through him, fight to him. If I have a tag match, I need to get the tag. Heels. The babyface does fight back a little bit. Sell up. So if I fight back a little bit, boom, don't bend over. Take it. Undertaker always sells up. You know what I mean? You can still sell here. But that keeps your heat. And that's the point. Listen to the crowd. Have him fire up a little bit, cut him back down. You gotta give me a facial that garners sympathy. And I don't really know how to tell you how to do that. You guys don't have very sympathetic faces. Do some questions. Because basically, I mean, in the art of the business, it's get a little heat, make a little comeback. That's all we have left is show a little fire, make a little comeback.
When you're doing strikes and all that, like what's your opinion on like smacking for a punch or a kick and making sound?
Okay, so in my opinion, I think we need to protect our punches. The fans don't know what a suplex feels like. They don't know what a backdrop feels like. But almost everybody has been punched or kicked or slapped. So this is like the only like real connection that the fans have with what we're doing is punching each other. And it's also the hardest thing that we do to work. So if we limit our punches and oversell the ones that we do, stick to basic wrestling and oversell that, it's a lot harder for people to see through what we're doing. Back to your question. If I'm a babyface and I'm here, I'm not going to throw a punch until it's a comeback. If he comes to me, I might throw a headbutt. Boom! You know, I might do Tracy Smothers back forearm. Wham! Come up here. Boom! And then you cut off. But when it's time to throw the punch, I'm only going to do this when the guy goes down. Okay? If I do it on every one, it don't mean anything. NXT, WWE preaches do not do that at all because they don't want it. But I feel like it adds to the illusion and the drama of the art that we can do. But no, if you go for a tryout, I wouldn't do it. If you do it, you know, it's when the guy goes down. It's not the first jab. You know what I mean? It just adds to that illusion and that drama. This guy, he was sitting next to me. Maybe at a show, maybe I wandered out, and he was like, you know, you can't fake the sound. He really kicked him. You can't fake that sound. You know, I've watched wrestling a long time. You can't fake the sound. I know it. You're right, sir. Questions? Anybody? Questions? Anything?
When you're training guys versus people that are coming in there versus like independent wrestlers, how do you see that transition like going from the independent level to training them for TV? Is it like a tough transition for them?
I see a lot of the independent guys holding on to. It's a fine line because if you're wrestling the independents, you got hired because of that reason, and they want you to keep that, but yet conform to what they want to do, and sometimes there's a friction there. You know what I mean? But as far as wrestling live events versus TV, is that what you mean? You mean independent wrestlers melding into
going into the system, yeah, making that transition.
Some guys do it, you know. I mean,
it's just like a matter of like having letting those from happening and stuff, right?
You just have to understand that pro wrestling and sports entertainment are very similar, but they're very distant. WWE is a television show first and foremost. And it's a television show that tries to sell merchandise, and it's a traveling high spot that sells t-shirts, which is awesome because business is good. Pro wrestling used to be a heat-driven business where the babyfaces were always down at the end, the heels were always up because they're going to come back to this building next week or next month and see me, you know, get what's coming to me. And we're trying to draw people. That's the case anymore. We're trying to draw viewers and advertising dollars and people to get the app at $9.99 and buy this t-shirt. It's a different target audience, it's a different business model, if that makes sense. And I think sometimes that's the hardest thing that guys have to let go of, that they don't realize that you're doing something completely different. You're doing a television show now that's about pro wrestling. You know, I'm trying to do stuff to draw people next week. Turn on the channel, they're gonna watch it. You know, it's not gonna draw people. I mean, it is because we need to be able to do those things to draw people to next week, but it's just a different.
I have a question.
Yep.
Sometimes kind of the news, Triple H consoling that kid after getting the heat on the crowd. Do you see that as something as like?
What did he do?
He got heat like I think the match was John Cena versus 3 people when the kid was crying. That
Yeah.
it was that.
Hey, consoling crying kid.
Right during the match. Like, do you see something like? I don't know. I kind of see like taken away from the whole point of getting the heat, but in the system of
but you're looking at it from your fan aspect. Our target audience is kids and families. You know what I mean? So it's almost a Disney product. You know what I mean? And that's the same level of concern and compassion and ethics and that whole umbrella of stuff that they need to portray. If the kid cries, yeah, man, we're just a show. We're just here to evoke your emotions, and we're just a movie. Just hey, calm down. I'm not a bad guy. In the art of the business, and in the old school blood, the mud, the blood, and the beer, we gotta keep don't break kayfabe. Damn. Yeah, it is not bad. And that's just the thing that we're talking about. That's that line between pro wrestling and 14. Any other questions?
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about doing extra work for WWE. What are your views on it? I've heard people say it can help you get signed. It can not
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I saw several extras that are getting signed. And the recruit.com, WWErecruit.com, all right, let me ask you guys. You guys want to keep bumping and doing in-ring work, or do you want to have a discussion?
Both. I would do both.
I would do both.
Discuss.
I would discuss, because we can keep bumping. The basic gist of the physicality that I wanted to do is show you guys what to expect. Impress on you that we need to be intense and we need to be able to sell. You know what I mean? We can talk, we can keep bumping, but I'm getting cold, so we want to keep bumping. Let's do that. Otherwise, I'm afraid to answer a question because there's a whole fucking onion that we can lay on there. Does that make sense? Is anybody going to be upset if we don't do any bumping and brain busters? Are you going to be upset?
I don't want to do that.
I don't know.
So what was the question?
I asked.
Okay, so recruit.wwe.com. Like I said, everybody should be on there if your goal is to get a tryout. But the extras, absolutely. I mean, it's just FaceTime. If you are an extra, introduce yourself to as many people as you can. All right, get a contact, whether it's someone in the office, one of the, like Canyon, who is the, I'm not sure it's a specific title, but he's like the find the talent guy. I mean, go out there, they'll do seminars and go around the world to look for different talent. But get in contact, whether it's his or one of his secretaries, so that you can follow up. What I would suggest is, like, I think on that profile it says what towns you're near, what cities or something if you want to do extra work. Let's say they're going to be in Kansas City and your grandmother lives in Kansas City, or you just can have a free ticket there or something. If it's a good loop, I would call and tell them, hey listen, I'm going to happen to be in Florida this week for whatever, for California for vacation. I see that they're there. I wouldn't mind being on the extras list. But yeah, I would absolutely say, without a doubt. Yep, please.
So I heard that it's John Coleman that does it now.
Yep, yeah, he does right.
Should I email him? Or, because I have the recruitment page.
If you got his email, I would say squeak the Lucas the oil. You know what I mean? Because I would. You know what I mean? It might not be the right move. He might say, what are you? But if you're respectful, and even if you have any relationship with him, if you know him at all, if you're nice and respectful, you can say, you know, I'd love to be whatever, on the extra list.
Is there 2 months of that ago? How often? Like that?
I would say like once every 2 months maybe, or as they're coming back around. I think, you know. And it's my hands. Yep, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is they're going to be here in a month for a 3-day league? So should I now?
Today, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because the thing is they probably already have the extra set. You know what I mean? So if you want it for this particular day, I would send an email 6 months prior, and then maybe 4 months prior, and then maybe 2 months if you don't hear anything. But it's also gauging on the response you get. If it's a nice response, then you realize that you might have a little rapport with that person. If it's no response or a blanket, you know, don't email me again, or just very short, maybe it's I don't email as often. The thing is trying to get as many contacts as you can. You know.
I noticed on the recruit page they had a thing asking about like acting experience and stuff. How much is that valued for them in terms of when they're looking to
put every card out there? All right. Anything that can set you apart from the mass of people that are going to apply there. If you can do acting, if you have a master's degree, if you have done scuba licensing or something, if you can swallow swords in the circus, you know what I mean? Anything that can set you apart, set you different, put it on there. Speak 2 languages, ethnicity. They're getting very big into. It's now a global company, and they want to have almost a representative on TV from every ethnic corner of the world. There's a kid that I suggested go to one of the tryouts, and his parents were from Trinidad and Tobago. I don't even know what the fuck Tobago is. And I was pressing on him, you know, they're into ethnicities. I would play that card. He wore a mask and he didn't play it. And I'm like, why? You know, it's like, play everything, you know.
Further that, I have a degree in like TV and film, I'm published writer. Would that be something you would put on there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know? Like I said, everything. Play every card.
I just feel like, independence and like going for the E. Like to get money on this independent, you have to do the independent style, which I kind of hate. I hate bumping. I'm a big guy. I used to do when I started and I got hurt. Now I save my bump. But in order to make money on this field, you got to conform to kind of get like the PWGs, the people that have been paying to get people out there. It's like, how much do you say like to kind of do indie style so you get noticed, but not to try to go in the other way? It's kind of like, because you want to make money, but you want to go to the E. It's like a heads and tails type of deal.
The thing is if you can draw, that's going to trump any style. You know what I mean? And your style is not that style.
No.
So you have to be able to define your style and then meld it with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see a whole lot of Kevin Steen working, but the stuff I did in NXT is very different style than like, let's say, Finn Balor and Kenta. You know what I mean? But he learned how to mesh it all together. So, that's the art, man.
Yeah, I just feel like that's where I'm at. I don't know if I have to change to go more towards what they're doing, to keep doing what I'm doing and try to do.
Thing is, again, people don't understand these moves. People want to see fighting. All the guys that have made money, that draw money in this business have done it through fighting. Same with this. You know what I mean? These moves don't draw money. So if you can get somebody to want to see them whip your ass and knock you down, that's it. You know what I mean?
Keep going with the fighting. Less moves, let's say, but like the amateur style of wrestling, should you have a good base in that too, right? Or
a lot of the amateur wrestlers that I saw transitioned a lot easier, or it just came a bit natural. There's a kid at NXT that was in the class that I taught, who was an Olympic wrestler.
Gable?
Yeah, Gable, awesome. You know, and just that transition, because you understand, if I pull your leg this way, I'm necessarily going to, my shoulder, you know, your body's going to go here, and just the mechanics of where our bodies would go. But I don't think it doesn't necessarily hinder you if you don't, but I think it's beneficial.
it enhances, okay.
I think so.
It's going on with the fight, like the UFC kind of getting as big as it is. So does that hurt the wrestling style? Whereas, like you said, like, people don't want to see the moves as much as they want to see striking.
So, in my opinion, UFC might be a competitor as a television show to WWE, but the thing is I don't see a lot of kids watching UFC. They're all watching wrestling. And as far as our style, we have to change our style a little bit, because if UFC is trying to portray a legitimate contest, but the fans know that we're not. But certain things, like the one thing I would say is, like, if you get that arm bar on somebody, you guys got to get out of it pretty quick, because if the fans in UFC now know that is a legitimate arm break and I can snap somebody's arm, if I have it on this guy for 30 seconds and I don't break his arm and he doesn't give up, I'm not very good. You know what I mean? But that margin of fans that know that watch WWE, I don't know how big that is. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't that be something like to worry about? Where, like you said, that margin of fans, like
maybe. Yes, to cover the bases, but I don't know how much that crossover is. And a lot of times I think the fans, it's just WWE, you know. I think we overanalyze it and overpick it more than the fans do. Because, you know, like, something will happen, let's say you have a match. The issue is I go and ask the fans, what do you remember from tonight? What did you see? And my perception of the night and the match and what happened almost would always be completely different than what they remembered. You know, so for the legitimacy of the sport, we have to know how to apply the holds correctly, and UFC does that. So at a certain point, we become a performance, and we might have a little bit of flair to it, but you're right that we have to protect the holds. But I don't know that UFC, I don't even know the question.
Yeah, but it's not that big. It's not that too big of a concern, but like.
I mean, yes and no. It's the art. You can't put on a hold that doesn't have credibility, doesn't have legitimacy. But to worry about what UFC is doing, anyway, I don't know.
See, down there in Atlantic City, they have like a bunch of different trainers there. Like, I think like Robbie Brookside, right?
So Robbie's there, A-Train's there, Norman Smiley, Billy Gunn, Terry Taylor, Sarah Del Rey teaches the girls, and Bill DeMoss, the head coach.
So now, like, does a guy like A-Train, does he like help you guys, like the bigger guys, work that big guys down? Robbie,
I think he has a particular class of his own, but then I think at separate times he'll have a big guy class.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. And every coach then will have separate times throughout the week where they can teach anybody that comes. Like Robbie will teach the English style. Norman teaches like little intricate little this and that. Billy teaches you how to just go out there and have a good time. Terry Taylor teaches you how to be a top guy. You know what I mean?
Is it like an sorry.
Yeah, I want to go back to the heat drill we were doing. You were talking about the Rip Rogers style of heat. What'd you call it?
Rip Rogers, 15 seconds of kick it in.
Kick it in. I'll say, I'm 2 years in, and I about 90% of the time find myself as a heel, so I'm usually putting the heat on somebody. And I feel like maybe there's a fine line of either I'm not giving enough in my heat, or people are usually telling me, you got to pull that heat back in, you're giving him too much. How is he supposed to come back, even do a comeback from the heat? So when I hear about that kick it in style, it's almost like I feel like, you know, how to find that fine line of giving heat.
Like I said, we do that right at the beginning of our heat. Let's say I'm a babyface and you're the heel, and I'm shining on you at the beginning, and I've done this move and this move and this move, and I've gone for something and you've moved out of the way, and I'm boom, and I'm down and I'm hurt. And you're selling all that offense that I gave to you. And you're pulling yourself to your feet slowly. And on your face you look over. Oh, my arm still hurts, but wait a minute, he's down. And I'm telling it to you this slowly because that is literally how slow we need to go. What happens most of the time is the guy moves and he's on it. But to facially perform that whole emotion, move out of the way, there's desperation. I'm hurt. Oh, this guy, bang, rat-a-tat-tat, 15 seconds, just ass over tea kettle, everything. Try to beat him, he kicks out, you catch your breath, put a hold on him. Don't continue to give him moves. Because if I continue to give him moves and don't beat him, I look weak. If I continue to give him moves and don't pin him, then what the fuck am I doing? I'm just doing dumb shit. Hold him down. Make that babyface fight from underneath. He's coming up, stop him, another move, cover, kick, back to a hold. Or he fights up, he gets out of it. Or he fights up, he rolls out of it. You know what I mean? The thing is, if you're constantly just punching and kicking and meat chopping, it's fucking boring. The drama is you gotta have a hold on it. And if it's continually boring, then you should have a shorter match. You know what I mean? But if I can grab the guy, if I have him in a hold, most of the time the people will continue to watch. If it's just mindless action, it's just, you know, just
Thank you.
people will get bored very easily with just punch, kick, stomp, punch, kick, stomp, punch, kick, stomp. Show me that emotion of there's a guy trying to fight from underneath, and I'm facially performing this. I can't get his arm off me, but I'm coming up, and you boom, pull his hair at the last second. Cover, kick, back to a hole. He's always fighting from underneath, always fighting uphill, always an underdog. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
With trying to keep going with that, like you're in the heat, you're in base. Now you don't always have to hit right? To show that you're coming back. You could just show a little bit of.
Absolutely.
So how would you do that?
So Steamboat would always say, like, after 3 or 4 moves, we need to show some life. And when I first started training, I would wrestle with Rip Rogers, and he was a 20-year veteran at the time, and he would literally, we get to the locker room, he goes, you want to have a real match tonight or a phony match? And I was like 20 years old. He was a 42-year-old bodybuilding man at the time, you know, wrestling 20 years. I was scared to death of him because his offense looked fucking real, and ours were like the shit we did in class every day. And I didn't know whatever you want. And he would call step by step every move. So he would call my hope spots like that. But even if it's just move out of the way, desperation, move out of the way. Or one forearm, I'm trying to get away, I sell away. The guy, the heel can register. Oh, now you're really going to get it. And he kicks it in again a little bit. If that babyface fights back, or desperation, false finish, kick out, put it over, and then maybe 5 seconds, I'm really going to show you now, kick it in for that 5 seconds of intense heat. Cover, kick out. I got to wear him down, I got to put him in a hold. The realism comes in knowing how to apply these holds, very similar to what we talked about, knowing where the pressure would be, because, oh, come here, man. Oh, it's right there. If I have a boring chin lock on him, the pressure's right there, okay? If I'm here, his hands need to go where it hurts. If I have him right here, hands need to go where it hurts. The realism is his cell, putting it over, me knowing how to apply the hold, him knowing how to sell the hold. But maybe it is just, if I have a chin lock on a guy and he comes up and the babyface just desperation rolls me off, but the babyface is still so hurt that he's crawling. Where we fuck ourselves is the babyface stands up, and then you kill all that heat that we're talking about earlier, perception. Kills all that heat that the heel's been building. I had desperation and I want to get away. I might be on my hands and knees trying to get to the ropes, and once I get to the ropes, I'm trying to put myself up. Heel took a roll, so he doesn't have to like overly sell. He gets up, and you son of a gun. Oh, you're gonna bang, ba bang, ba bang, ba bang, cover, kick out, back to a hold. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna go back a little basic before earlier. I got over right over left, so to my left. I know a lot of us were trained by Johnny Rods, so it's very old school. Where did the switch happen? Like, because he always taught us to get up right over left, to get up to our lefts. And there's also a lot of things that like we've realized over time that have changed drastically. So
I don't know that there was a specific time and whatnot, but it was always get up to the right, move to the right, work the left.
Right.
Because stand up here. So if you're this way, keep turning to the right. Up, there's the head. Keep turning to the right. Up, there's the head. Keep turning to the right. There's the hip toss. It's all clockwork. You know what I mean? You wrestle somebody. So on that same kind of token, I expect everybody to kick. Pardon me. I expect everybody to punch right-handed punches. Old school philosophy was everybody kicked right-footed kicks as well. Some guys will kick left-footed kicks, but if you got a left-handed punch or somebody wrestling and use it, everybody needs to know that. Because if I'm going to punch him, there you stay right there. I'm expecting him to open this for me here. Boom. Guy throws a left, right in the chin. You know what I mean? And it also it messes up the rotation, Smokey. You know what I mean? If I'm throwing lefts, like we're just a little spin we did right there, but that can be compensated. But everybody just needs to know for safety-wise.
How much responsibility falls on the agents during the match?
See, the thing is like the matches that I agented were like, we would talk about the match. If it was NXT TV, it wasn't so much planning, but like I did one of the matches on one of the specials. I did Enzo Amore and Sylvester Lafort, the hair versus hair match. And there was a thorough discussion over days about let's do this, because I wanted them to go slow, and I wanted to be able to tell the camera guy what was going to happen next. Not a whole lot of conversation between each of us during the actual match. They were just performing it, and then I was telling the camera guy, okay, they're going to go to this corner, get a shot of Enzo's face, 2, 3, 4. All right, get a shot of Sylvester's face. All right, they're going to go to the floor on this side now. Boom, boom, boom. But if the match is a shits, it might fall on the agent, but it's the guys in the ring.
Well, if the guy chokes, does that fall on you?
The thing is this guy will hear it first, because Triple H, or if you're on Raw, Vince is sitting right there. why the fuck are they doing that? You know, but for the most part, then the guys will get yelled at to everybody. I don't know.
So you're in there
Yep.
with the you're like directing. You're in there with the camera people.
So like at NXT, whoever was doing the time, which was either Scotty Armstrong or Billy Kidman, I think they both do it on Raw and SmackDown as well. And then at NXT, usually Triple H was there, all the other agents were there, all the other coaches, and you know, I'm just telling the camera guy what to do. And because NXT is also a school where everybody's learning, Triple H might say, make sure he does this from here on out, or tell him not to do this. And then what I would usually do is as a group, my class, I would tell everybody. Because I feel like if we're all learning together and one person does something that we can all learn from, everybody needs to know, as opposed to just going, if you two do this, do it like this. I feel like it needs to be a thing where everybody learns. But did I answer your question? What was the question?
In terms of independent shows, in your experience, what could most shows be doing better? It's like one easy thing to be like, hey, all of your shows could run smoother if.
I mean, it's a lot of things. I think one thing that hinders the business in an independent show is knowing the rules. WWE does not like teach the pro wrestling rules. Like the commentators don't get it over. But if everybody on a particular show, if all the fans know that this is a disqualification, this is illegal, we can get more heat because heels cheat behind the referee's back. And I don't know what cheating is unless you tell me what the rules are. Deflating the football by 1 ounce, is that cheating? I don't know. You know, I don't know what the rules are. You know what I mean? But if I know what the rules are, then the heels can cheat. If the heels cheat, then they get some heat. Independent wrestling is fucking a heat-driven business. If I'm running a town monthly, somebody needs to be getting knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? When we wrestled in OVW, we had a weekly show in the same building. The TV on Wednesday, the show was on Sunday. We might do some other little buildings around town, whatnot. But for the most part, bayface were getting left lane. You know what I mean? They would almost beat Ric Flair, and all of a sudden the Horseman would jump in, and everybody would get left lane. Dog on it. Next week, I'm going to tune in. I'm coming to the Coliseum next month because I want to see, you know, Lawler got beat up every time. Damn it, I'm going to Nova Gardens Tuesday night. I want to see Lawler whip somebody's ass. Heat, man. I think what they try to do sometimes is mimic WWE, and that's okay. It works for some people, but we gotta realize WWE is a television show. Pro wrestling, most of the time over time, was a heat-driven business.
Question going back to the drill we did. Are you saying you lose your heat once the babyface stands up? What if you go to run a hope spot?
Just like I said, just keep yourself low. You know, if I'm going to do a hope spot, I'm still going to do it right here. Boom. You know, I'm still perceptively, I'm going to keep my base wide so that I'm lower. I'm not here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? What's the difference between 211 and 212 degrees?
1 degree.
212 degrees, water boils. Attention to fine details. 211 degrees, it's just really fucking hot water. You know what I mean? The little attention to detail, I mean, that could be everything. If I'm here and he's standing here, especially if I'm wrestling a shorter guy.
Keep yourself small.
Yeah, keep myself small, I keep sympathy. Yo.
Considering with the ring psychology, during the fire-up, I know a lot of us, you know, think that when you're doing just the bump and feed, that it looks kind of hokey.
It does.
So what do you guys try do to?
So I need to give the illusion that I'm slowly building to our standing position. So again, I would almost, and this isn't always, but the more stuff you can do, let's say I move, boom. Guy comes, he comes to grab me, I do a small package, he kicks out. He comes to do something else, I do a schoolboy, he kicks out. He comes one, boom, and then I've done a move and two false finishes, and I really haven't done anything to him, but I'm slowly building my, again, if we're on the video game, building a little power meter back up. And again, I have to slowly make that comeback from a wide base. Boom, you know, he comes back, boom, 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 boom. Boom! And that's when the fire needs to happen.
Give another back.
I think what happens a lot of times is the guy starts to come up and it'll be like his first punch and the guy goes down. I don't feel like I'm all the way to knock somebody down strength, you know what I mean? But the heel needs to know that, and it's almost like a way to listen to the crowd. If they're not ready for it and you give it to them, so as a babyface, as I'm coming up, the crowd's with it. I have to stay one step behind the tempo and pace that the crowd has set. Because if the crowd's going here and I'm coming up, I don't need them. If I'm one step below and they're coming up and I'm almost to where their speed, they're what's bringing me up. Does that make sense? When you get to here, I feel like if you get the one good boom and he goes down and you fire up and the crowd's there, we're supposed to finish. I mean, depends on what he did to you. If he did specific things to you, the fucking Hogan, the break in the bag, the bite there, the fucking chop there, the 10 phony punches there, and then give it all back, you know what I mean? You could do something like that. Once you get that big pop, hopefully win.
What do you think of like Cena or Danielson or someone that has like a Bret Hart fire up, like that have a like the two tackles, duck one, back suplex, fish drop.
As a kid, you're gonna go, I know it's phony because he does the same thing every time. In the art of the business, it's not very good. In the business of the business, the crowd gets with it, and all the kids want to do this and buy the hand thing, and he's made $40 million on this fucking hand, so I'd rather have a bad match and make money than have a good match and make no money. You know what I mean? But you're absolutely right. You know what I mean? It's in the art of the business, the comeback should be in an eye for an eye. Whatever the heel does to me, I need to give back. In the art, it's almost like, we'll see what, I'll see what you do to me. Let's see, you work my back, you slam me, you suplex me, you backdrop me, you get a little violent, throw me to the floor, throw me into the rail. When the time's right, slam, suplex, backdrop, your ass is going to the floor, into the fucking rail, and come in. I give it all back. You know what I mean? But the art sometimes loses out to the business.
What was like a favorite match, Bruce, that you had?
Oh, there's so many! How can I say? I mean, come on. I mean, a main event match at SummerSlam with Kurt Angle, and a main event match with Triple H. I've been in the ring with The Rock, Hogan at Mania. I even picked Vince McMahon. I mean, come on. Take your pick.
What's that like? So like you work a match like with Triple H. Is there an agent involved? Is there like how's
I think Michael Hayes was our agent. You know, and it was just Triple H pretty much led it, but Regal would pitch ideas. I didn't really want to pitch ideas, but if it was like, okay, boom, 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 we need you to do something. What do you do right here? Rock bottom. All right, perfect, rock bottom. You know what I mean? But he just kind of set the course, and it's really simple.
So even when Vince and Triple H, the bosses are involved, there's other people pitching ideas and stuff like that.
I can't say Vince was never involved. With the stuff I did, there was just a handful of times that he was like really.
No, I mean in their own angle. Like when Vince used to wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, it takes a collection of guys. Well, it might be better if you do this here. Okay. You know what I mean? Everybody that works together because they're all on the same page with where they're going. It's how we portray it best.
I remember I first saw that with someone with Steamboat, and he made allude to this magic bat. He goes, I hate when baby faces do that thing, the magic back, and then knock them back down. When you're saying they want to be standing up, how can you like counter that thing? Because he was saying, don't do the magic bat when you come back. Oh shit, I'm done again. I go to my fucking falls. How can you not stand completely up and then kind of still sell like
in my opinion, when I make my comeback, when I do the big roar and it's time for the big hurrah, I'm at 100% right there. And my adrenaline's flowing and I'm feeling no pain and I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. Then maybe I've hit my move, 1, 2, he kicks out, take a breath, okay, wait a minute, I just had a 20-minute match, you know what I mean? It's just in your portrayal. It can't be I make a comeback, he kicks out and I'm dead. You know what I mean? Again, if this were real and you took this amount of pain and you come back and you're mad and I'll say, fuck, this does hurt, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Then the pain comes back. But it just needs to be appropriate to what you've taken and realistic. That's the whole thing. Can I portray pain and excitement and anger and everything realistically? We do that by facial performance. Crowd doesn't know the difference. If I grab you on your wrist and squeeze as hard as I can and just try to break your wrist, if I just barely touch you like that, the crowd doesn't know the difference. You know what I mean? I don't want guys to grab me, snatch me, because then I just get scared. I just cover up. And I don't want to wrestle. Even like Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was rough in the ring, but he never like grabbed me. You know what I mean? His shots were stiff, which is cool, which were solid, you know, the big flying moves, chops and all this, but it wasn't like you were trying to manhandle the guy. You can't do that. That's why I get scared, because that's not what we do. If I just have a hold of the guy, you can portray that same son of a gun, lay down your back for me, you know what I mean? As opposed to trying to physically put him there. I should never have to physically do anything with anybody. YoungRecruit.wwe.com website, set up your profile. What they want to see is a face shot, face picture of your body. If you have a 6-minute match, solid, they want to see that. But again, they want to see just moving the ring. How you doing? If you have a promo that you've cut, put that on there. If you have anything that sets you apart, like I said, master's degree, I'm a chef, I'm a stunt car driver, I'm NCAA champion, I wrestled in college, I went to everything, put every card out there. Because when they have a picture of you and your information, that's all they know is what you tell them. And there might be somebody next to you that might have the exact same thing, but oh, this guy went to clown school, that'd be funny. Maybe we could bring back a doink, call this guy in. Maybe you do the same thing, but you shouldn't put it there. And that might be a bad example, but put it all out there. And then look at the guys on NXT. Look at yourself. The presentation, is it the same? You gotta be fucking fit. What they want now is clean, athletic bodies. The guys in NXT are WWE overall are randomly tested. Can't be on the drugs, can't be on the gas. Okay? Plus, if you get all big muscled up because you're on the gas, then you get hired, then you get off, and you come there and you've lost 30 pounds, that's not the guy we hired. They want guys that have intensity in their movements. Not how hard can I kick somebody, but just that intensity, bringing it. Guys that can sell, and guys that look the part.
So, with actual back to that, SmackDown you wrestled correct before the show?
So I just did one, but I think what generally happens is Raw is usually more hectic. So all the extras will show up. Most of the time you'll either find John Cone or William Regal or both. When I walk through with the group, William Regal would just kind of talk to the guys, very similar to what we're doing. Monday was pretty much they sat in the stands and he would just talk and say, you know, very similar to what I'm telling you, you know, make your shit look good, oversell. I would rather in a match shoot for a C, meaning try to make it basic and solid, than try to shoot for an A and fail. Because if I don't know who I'm working with, if I don't know the ring, if I don't know everything, and I shoot for this A and it's not right, it's gonna look bad. But if I just shoot for a solid match, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean keep it tight, keep it in the middle, keep your hand on the guy. Don't try anything outlandish and then have it screw up, because then that's going to deflate everything you've done. Monday, Regal kind of gives you this kind of rundown. Tuesday then would be normally an easier day. SmackDown's a little less stressful, and sometimes they would have matches. If they want to see one particular person be a babyface, they would get him in the ring. Otherwise, it might be, you're a heel, you're a babyface, go. You might know the guy, you might not know the guy. You just have to be, like I said, what they want to see is how you move, how you work with somebody else. You know?
You know, so we can cut a promo as well.
I think so, I believe so, yes. So, when they do the promos, like, I didn't see an extra promo session, but I saw a Tribe Camp promo session, and what turns almost everybody off most of the time is somebody cutting a wrestling promo. You know, and realistically, very few guys cut wrestling promos on WWE. Cena maybe, you know what I mean? Generally, it's going to be a backstage segment. What they want to see is your range of emotions. There's a girl in NXT now, Lena. I can't remember her name. The Rock's cousin, niece, cousin. And she came in and did a promo. Really pretty girl, right? She talked about being a Gemini. Geminis can party and be your best friend and love you so much, but then they can flip the coin and they can just went into like this mean, I don't know how the meanness that she had in tone and just rip your heart out. And she, but you know, I'm glad to be here. I'm having a good time. I want to see range of emotion. I heard about another kid that said a nursery rhyme. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. To be able to be intense and angry and then laughing. I heard Regal tell a lot of the guys that get a block of verbiage, a paragraph of verbiage that you know, backwards, forwards, you know, every bit of it. And try to do it in every emotion that you can think. And try to turn that emotion all the way up. Angry, happy, sad, laughing, whatever, bashful, I don't know. You know, I don't know, emotions. You know, try to be able to get that entire spectrum, portray it. Facially, verbally, body language.
What's the take on like in-ring talking before the match? Like, do they encourage mostly ref usage, or I know they use the ref for communication, but like hit double down right there, you just quick move, you come back real fast.
So I mean, yeah, but you just have to know how to be able to block. And the thing with the WWE TV is they have microphones under the ring to hear the bang, and that's me seeing you talking. That's a no-no. Now on TV, me hearing you, that's tough. I mean, because most of the time the fans were 15, 20 feet away. Now there's a microphone in the ring, you kind of handcuffing us there. But we have to deal with it. My suggestion is, whatever you call it in the middle of the ring, and call it in the hold. And then go into it. I wrestled Triple H. Everything we did, everything he called was in the middle of the ring, and generally it was in a hold. We might not do it for 2 minutes. We get there, and then we go into it. But just double check. We're going to do this, right? In my opinion, call less, do less, and oversell. Because if it's a big, long tackle, drop down, leap for a roll back, dive through, hip toss, block, you know, I'll forget half of it. One tackle and sell. Because the fans don't know what the moves feel like. All they want to see is how we react. Ooh, he knocked me down. I'm pissed now. I'm going to give it back. I don't know what I'm going to do. Give it back. I got you now. I got this son of a... They don't care about the moves. Keep them simple. And just try to cover it as best you can. You know what I mean? It's just... Me seeing Cena talk is just fucking... A friend of mine, but that's lazy. When all I got to do is just fucking right there. Or if a guy has a hold on me, I'll pull his hand. Over here, you know what I mean? Whatever. If I have a headlock on somebody, I'm not going to call a spot because my head is the highest. If I have a chin lock, if I have any hold on somebody, I'm not going to call a spot because my head is the highest head in the ring and all that's going to be right here. I'm going to do something just to cover my mouth. Yeah, I mean, what? Okay, yeah, no, yeah, okay. That's the art, man. And the thing is, if you pre-plan less and call it in the ring, less times when you have to really communicate. It's just, if you have people to come back, come on. This is what they want to see. And I'm hoping that you know how to punch, and I'm hoping that I work with you at least enough to trust that here it comes a big one, boom, hit me with your move, boom, kick out, oh, now we go into the false finish or swerve or whatever. Tough to do though.
Is it easy to work with like small crowds or bigger crowds? Like, what do you feel is easier?
The thing is if you can entertain 12 people, you can entertain 12,000. You know what I mean? It's sometimes more difficult for a smaller crowd because we can look out and see everybody and see all the holes in the fucking seats and they're not even paying attention. He's reading a book, that guy's blind. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's more difficult for us, but if you can get over that and not care and go out there and act like there's millions of people watching, that's it. I would often remember I wrestled a match in OVW one time. It was the last match in the live event, 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's leaving, right? And I purposely laid there until live got, and then I kept selling, working, going, I mean, just for my own entertainment, just fucking all the way back, you know. And there was one of the boys in the back saw me. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Nobody's paying attention to me. I was just selling for me, you know what I mean? Just fucking falling down, looped you over, you know, just being stupid. The thing is, if you guys have a good time in the ring, if you're loving what you're doing, you're smiling and you're laughing, and that energy, people pick up on that. If you're having a good time and having fun, people realize that. If if you're trying to remember what you're supposed to do, move, and then people pick up on that energy. I mean, it's very difficult to fake sincerity. I think Vince and Shawn Michaels are about the only two guys that I can see go out there in a promo and just immediately, you love him, you hate him, but whatever it is, you believe it because he believes it. And that's what we need to be able to do. Sometimes, like, I see guys go out and try to be a heel, and I don't buy it because he's not buying it. He's out there playing a wrestler. He's out there playing a babyface. Come on, because he's not out there being a babyface, being like in the moment. You can't fake the sincerity. You just have to be it. You have to live it. You have to do it. Whatever it is, you have to commit all the way. If I'm supposed to be angry, I'm fucking angry. If I'm supposed to be in pain, I'm in pain. If I'm supposed to be come back, healed, whatever it is. You just have to commit. I have to believe you. Because if I don't believe you, nobody else will believe me.
So you discussed like cutting a promo for like WWE.
Huh?
So can you discuss a little bit about like an independent promo and like what you would recommend? Maybe volume.
Say your name. First and foremost, say your fucking name. See, guys, I'm gonna do this next week, and we're wrestling. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna say my name first and foremost at the beginning of the promo. One of the best promo guys in the world. My name is every time. Everybody knows his name, but if there's somebody that just tunes in that night for the very first time, who's this guy? Oh, he must be Paul Heyman. Okay? You say your name, I would say at least 3 times. Beginning, middle, and end. Okay? What's the issue you want to talk about? Tell the people what you're going to tell them. Tell them, and then tell them what you told them. You know what I mean? Last week you did this to me, and I've had enough. Tonight, in this very ring, we're going to have this kind of match. This is what's going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. Date, time, place. And your message. Don't ramble incoherently for no reason. If you can be witty and comical, all the better.
Under 2, right?
What?
Under 2 minutes.
Yeah, under 2 minutes.
It's like 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, no. If you're talking about an independent promo,
Yeah.
I mean, it's this. Are you doing it in the crowd? Are you doing it on film?
It's like a safe film.
You know what I mean? For an independent, is it for their website? They might not be so strict on time.
Okay.
But generally, I'm not going to watch a YouTube video for more than 90 seconds. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But the quicker you can get to the location, the time, how can they see it, what the issue is, what you're going to do about it, your name, your name, your name. Those are the main points.
What was the evolution of the developmental system like going back from 2002 when you had John Cena?
Started in '96. So The Rock and Mark Henry, I think, were the first two that were sent to Memphis. Kurt Angle was sent to Memphis, and then they had Los Angeles, they had Memphis, they had Puerto Rico, and then it was Cincinnati and Louisville. But generally, like all the old developmental, FCW, Deep South, all of them, WWE contracted to basically an indie company to train their talent. That's basically what it was. When Triple H was kind of transitioning from heavy in-ring work to more corporate at the office work, the story I heard was Vince asked him to go around to all the departments in the company and give him an evaluation on how he feels the departments do, because WWE has a standard of excellence, okay? So Triple H goes to the marketing department, goes to the, I don't know what else they have, this and that, goes to the developmental department, and he's like, that department is well below standard. Not because any part of it was bad, but it was an indie company. It's not a WWE company. So the Vince's like, all right, well, you're going to head up the developmental system. So then that's why NXT now has the class and the prestige of all the other departments of WWE.
So but you still try to incorporate a lot of how you were training WWE.
I mean, in my opinion, the art, everybody needs to do the art. And the building blocks of the art are the same across the board. You know what I mean? As we progress into doing a television show, there are different aspects. But yeah, I still trained guys in OVW. I was there when I was helping the training with like Brock and Cena and Batista and Randy Orton. All those guys were there. And then there was a whole other crew. I had my own class there. I got hired. I did the same things. I still preach the same message because that's the way I believe. Different guys will preach a different message, different have a different philosophy on the business. Right set? I'm starving, boys. Any other last questions? No, I said Dynamite Tiger match was my favorite. I mean, that was the beginning of like that intense, quick snap motion. What Dynamite beat the bejesus out of people. Oh.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you learned something. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, young man. Good intensity. Good. She says, kick her harder, kick her harder.